Warning, if you can't think critically and have no idea how to be open-minded, it's time to fucking leave. The new upcoming DLC 1 map for Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Zombies is coming out, and it's called Night of the Dead. Does that sound familiar? And as a good friend of mine, Chopper, describes it, we have the scuffed ray gun in the new map called Definitely Not Nocturne Toten, and a brand new storyline that is not at all related to the new one. For sure, don't get them confused. And elixirs are in both the Ether and Chaos storyline, but don't get them confused. And the guns and gameplay are exactly identical with no real differentiation, even though there's so much more they could have done. But don't get them confused, because this map features 4 brand new characters. And in the words of Chopper, we've got, and I quote, some guy, Red Dead Redemption, Batman's butler, and the ugly stepsister from Meanwhile, let's take a look at our competitors. Oh my god! Yo, this shit's so fucking bad. JC's mother literally sent this man a text message about going to Fortnite because it's that goddamn bad. Again, I don't want to bash on Black Ops 4. I think we've been doing that a little bit too much. This video is supposed to illustrate a sort of timeline as to what I've personally experienced on this game, both good and bad. So May 17th, Black Ops 4 Zombies is announced with 3 maps being 9, Voyage of Despair, and finally a teaser of Blood of the Dead. Mutations has over 100 different settings for every Zombies maps is announced. Callings being daily, weekly, and monthly challenges are announced, and Rush, a game mode similar to Dead Ops Arcade, is also announced. Black Ops 4's reveal event is launched perfectly and left a lot of fans hungry for more, including myself. Pre-launch, Blood of the Dead and the Chaos storyline got multiple trailers, while leading up to the actual launch of the game, it stayed fairly quiet. Usually we get Snapchat teasers and a bunch of other stuff, but only a couple of god statues were sent out to YouTubers, but other than that, nothing else. Rumors of Zombies development was being switched to Blackout as to rush out its October release, meaning that Black Ops 3's look of Zombies would be very much similar to Black Ops 4. And this is something that I have to mention, because usually within each of the Zombies games there's a radical differentiation. Why the fuck am I in heaven? Give me a sec. Usually every game that you transition to from Black Ops 1 to 2 or from 2 to 3, there's a major sort of differentiation. You can always tell the difference between the gameplay. I look at Black Ops 2, I know it's Black Ops 2. I look at Black Ops 1, I know it's Black Ops 1. I look at Black Ops 3, bet your ass I know it's Black Ops 3. But when I look at Black Ops 4, I don't know, it just looks like Black Ops 3. What can I say, man? And then we get to the launch of the game. The game releases, it's too challenging. It gets patched, it gets blue screens and errors because of the patching. Everybody is still okay with it. You know, there's a lot of content for the game. It's looking great. Now let me describe to you where we are at today on December 6th, 2018. The game gets blue screen and errors. It gets patched. The game gets blue screen and errors. It gets patched. The game, being all of the content with all of the Easter eggs, gets solved, and nothing happens after that, even though we were promised weekly updates. What I'm trying to say is that this game has had nothing come out of it. No real updates, nothing. Sure, MP and Blackout have gotten a plethora of content, and some of that content, like the different skins that lots of people don't really care about, can be kind of questionable, but nonetheless they have extra content. Treyarch basically confirms that this game is in a beta state, as one of the hidden Dark Ops challenges is to complete all of the factions in Season 1. Factions is a whole new slew of things for Zombies, and it's not even in the game yet when it was announced at the reveal event. To sum it up, that means we are in Season 0, a state which the game shouldn't even be out. We got Speed Cola 2 for the people asking about it, but are we really gonna consider updates like that we've received in previous games being content? We got fucking Speed Cola in fucking World at War Verrückt. It's not content, boys. They just took that shit out of the game. It's crazy to me that the new updates I received for Black Ops 4 aren't even from Treyarch themselves and are fucking stupid emoji code from these Twitter accounts so they don't get flagged down. This whole everything new has to be shrouded in mystery thing was maybe exciting about 10 years ago when people were interested into zombies like that, but I just think right now, comparing to your whole market, it's just sort of bad marketing. Like, especially because we know what to expect at this point. We know that it's 4 DLCs. We know that the next map is some mansion map because of the code. These things get leaked. Just make it spectacular rather than hide it away. I think this is where my idea of content conflicts with most people for zombies, because I've been saying this ever since Black Ops 3, because I've noticed that we've been getting ourselves in sort of a pattern of hype for DLC comes out, the Easter egg gets solved, death until the next DLC. And I think that sort of cycle needs to be broken. It needs to be switched up. Black Ops 4, that's the whole fucking motto of the game. Let me hit you with a wild statement here in terms of what I mean. Transit has had more content in its one map than any Black Ops 3 and 4 Zombies map. Isn't that just an outrageous statement? If this was a debate class and I had to justify this, I'd give a ton of great suggestions. Transit, however shit of a map it was, actually gave, for the first time ever, 2 main Easter eggs in one map. So that is already beating all of the other Black Ops 3 maps that we have. Granted, they were scuffed as fuck and you could only do it once per game, but it was technically more content. You could also argue that it gave more content between its game modes of Turned and Grief than any other Zombies map to exist, especially when it broke up the map in certain segments. This is where stupid fucking images like this on the Reddit appear so one-sided because they're just blatantly wrong. Content can either be seen as the amount of things inside a map or the amount of ways that things can be innovated in that map. I don't see Zombies as progressively innovating with the same DLC after DLC with some slight mechanics switched or reskinned, and that's it. I think if we want real content, we should expect different modes of zombies, like Rush, one of the major things I've been playing out of Black Ops 4, which in my opinion hasn't really been getting enough traction because of the fact that it hasn't really been updated on. It needs more of that oomph. It needs more of that game mode, that aesthetic. I'd rather play 50 different game modes inside of one map that are great than one map that is great without any game modes. This is kind of harkened back to the idea of the map that constantly changes. It's one map, but it always has something fresh about it. Which brings me to my next point, being mutations. And I love mutations. I love everything that is done for our community, but I hate to say it, it's just not enough. Mutations is what this community needs, but it's not the end point. It needs game modes. It needs to be able to use all of its features for its Easter eggs, and it's what this game needs, but it's not a game mode itself. It's a great start, and if Treyarch does eventually update it, hopefully, if they ever decide to bring that up with us, they are definitely onto something, and I think it could really change the way this game works. Treyarch is like a company of blue balling its audience. They give us a whole plethora of content all at once and then just leave us starving for more. And again, I know a lot of people can say it's a good and bad thing, because when we get it, we rejoice, but when we want more, obviously we starve. But I've wanted this game to succeed in its own right, and it has with Blackout and multiplayer, in my opinion. But man, they've just released a multiplayer and Blackout standalone version of Black Ops 4, and it's sad to see that Zombies isn't getting the love it deserves. And as a casual gamer, I could imagine that this video is complete fucking nonsense to you, because, you know, it's completely different for a content creator. When I play this game every fucking day and I see it and I'm looking at it, and it's my bread and butter to see how this game can improve and push itself, but it's decided to say the exact fucking same. I like to say I'm okay with that as a casual gamer, but it really isn't something that I can bear for much longer as a content creator. It's just frustrating to me because I see that Treyarch has traveled all this way and they just need to be right here, but they're not willing to make this last bit of difference, this last bit of distance, especially when promised items such as callings and the authenticity stamp, which is apparently useless because people can glitch, and factions just aren't in the game. That's just the little push we need. They made all this distance. It just needs to be right here to keep people on it. That's all I'm saying. And unfortunately for me and the way I am with content creation, if DLC 1 is not a radical explosion of content that I can see doing well and keeping me on the game all the way up until DLC 2, even like Shadows of Evil did. Man, I stream Shadows every fucking day up to the release of DE because I love that map so much. But it's just like, it's just not the same. 4 maps can't do that because those 4 maps aren't reinventing themselves. I love Black Ops 4, but I've got to say that DLC 1 is gonna be my final breaking point. This game has so much potential, but I'm not sure if it's the combination of the toxic community coming from Reddit or people reading in too much on the way things are, but I just don't really want to be a part of that anymore. I want to be a part of somebody that can progress this game in a good state rather than just shitting on everybody. I think what we had in Black Ops 3 was incredible with the ascension of these ideas like Banana Colada and all of that. And then I don't know what happened between the jump from Black Ops 3 to Black Ops 4, but I maybe people just left me. Maybe people got bored of it or something, but that idea expansion of the game just really isn't there anymore. And I always want to hope for something bigger and better for zombies, and I'm excited to see it, but when they just go back down to the exact same fucking level that they've been comfortable at for years, it's a pain to see because I can see this game going in such a great direction. You know, a horde mode can only be entertaining for so long without the proper guidance. Wow. There it is. Just as I finish uploading this video, Treyarch finally tweets that they are going and updating Multiplayer Zombies and Blackout on December 11th, 2018. I finally say thank you, brother. Keep a brother updated, Treyarch, please, for the love of God. I don't know how many times I gotta say this bullshit.